1 is the savior of the century's end, Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star, aka Hokuto no Ken. Since childhood, Kenshiro has been trained as an assassin to become the 64th successor to the deadliest martial art in history. This assassination fist is known as Hokuto Shinken, or the Divine Fist of the North Star. The successor to this fist bears the duty of being mankind's savior by bestowing judgment on villains like a fearful Grim Reaper. The world has been hit by a nuclear apocalypse caused by the events of World War III, resulting in many villainous men to rule as king. These dark times call forth a savior, setting Kenshiro's destiny into motion. However, Kenshiro is the youngest of 4 brothers who are practitioners of Hokuto Shinken. The eldest brother, Rao, the King of Fists, has become a tyrant whose ambition is to rule as the supreme ruler of the century's end. But before he faces the King of Fists, Kenshiro bears the sorrow of being defeated and having his fiancée Yuria stolen away by his friend Shin. Bearing 7 scars, Kenshiro then forsakes his duty as savior, turning into an angry avenger, but his life is thrown into despair with the revelation of Yuria's suicide. Feeling empty and hopeless, Kenshiro wanders the wasteland, bearing very little humanity. Upon meeting Rei, Mamiya, and the countless people in suffering, Kenshiro is then reminded of his vow as the North Star successor and his promise to Yuria, to bring back love to these troubled times. With his humanity restored, Kenshiro embarks on his difficult journey to end chaos, bearing both love and sorrow as many die before him. Kenshiro is a very compassionate hero who cherishes life, even willing to abandon his naive nature for the greater good. In the past, Kenshiro was hesitant to kill, believing it to be unnecessary, but proven wrong with his mistake of sparing his brother Jiagi, led to Kenshiro's defeat by the hands of Shin. In the 2008 film Kenshiro Zero, Kenshiro is portrayed as being very pacifistic, learning to embrace the cruelty of men. Ironically, the Age of Power forces the kind-hearted hero to become as heartless as the devil, heavily emphasized with his godlike power, and the title of episode 1 being
God or Devil, the mightiest man who appeared in hell.
Kenshiro's mastery of Hokuto Shinken grants him the power of complete control of a person's body by pressing pressure points. He can wipe away your memories, force you to speak the truth, weaken your body's muscle strength, can decrease your defensive techniques, can stop you from breathing, force you to commit suicide, can master an opponent's fighting style after a single battle, but most dangerously, he can assassinate by making your body explode into a bloody corpse. Kenshiro's most signature move is the North Star 100 Crack Fist, or the Hokuto Hyakuretsuken, where he unleashes a limitless number of punches while shouting Bruce Lee's battle cry of "Atatata" and ending with this iconic quote. Hokuto Hyakuretsuken! Kenshiro's manliness is top tier for many reasons, as he heavily served as an influence to most manly series that debuted in the late 1980s. For example, his 100 Crack Fist is a technique that's been duplicated in various anime, often being shown as a parody such as Excel Saga, Great Teacher Onizuka, Dr. Slump, and Project Eiko. However, the attack paved its way into a staple of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with Jonathan Joestar, Kujo Jotaro, and various other stand users. While the battle cries may be different, it's undeniable that all of these rapid-fire punching is from the battles of Hokuto no Ken. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a fist, as shown by Tsurugi Momotaro, but even other characters such as Yusuke Urameshi and Monkey D. Luffy seem to have inherited Kenshiro's iconic attack. But Kenshiro's influence doesn't stop there, as his character design has been imitated by other manly aficionados, as seen in Sakigake Dogojuku and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Kenshiro is basically Mario, for he has done everything. There's Swordsman Kenshiro, Delinquent Kenshiro, Gentleman Kenshiro, Kabukimono Kenshiro, Criminal Investigator Kenshiro, Robocop Kenshiro, Uncle Kenshiro, and even Super Dr. Kenshiro. In fact, there are other characters that don't resemble his design, but carry many similar traits such as Toriko, Riki-Oh, and even Sasori Bancho. Kenshiro has mainstreamed the meme of manly tears. Even the search results display mostly Hokuto no Ken characters. Manly! On the subject of tears, Kenshiro's life is filled with tragedy, as many view him as the messiah of the world. Fist of the North Star is a series that originally was inspired by Mad Max, but eventually grew into something more, being a tale of people fighting for freedom. The story contains some religious symbolism, as seen in the Souder arc where Kenshiro played the role of Moses. After being defeated by Souder, Kenshiro is rolled on a boat to escape from danger, much like Moses who drifted in a casket, thus eventually freeing the slaves from a pharaoh-like adversary. The same can be said with his defeat against demon Kaio, who placed Ken on a Big Dipper crucifix, and crucified again with heavy romanticism in the Kenshiro Zero movie. Because of his role as a messiah, characters give up their life or body parts to ensure Kenshiro's safety, such as Shu and Sachi, who gave up their eyes as toll. Another example is Shu's son, Shiva, who protected Kenshiro via kamikaze, leaving Kenshiro in tears. His role as a hero becomes a challenge of man versus destiny, but has chosen to submit to it as the world does need a savior. Kenshiro is a manly character due to his struggles of morality, such as his mercy for Jagi. This failure to kill Jagi resulted in Ken's ultimate regret, as Jagi ruined the lives of 8 people, being Rei's entire family, Shin, Yuria, and Kenshiro himself. As an act of brotherly respect became the result of all of his anguish, as Kenshiro is the one who's truly responsible. However, fate works in mysterious ways. Many characters such as Jagi, Shin, and Raoh all claim Kenshiro to be soft and unfit to be the successor, but it was through this tragedy that molded Kenshiro into the world's greatest hero. Being taught the importance of hope and sacrifice by his elder brother Toki, Kenshiro gradually matures into a real man. Now understanding the pain of loss, Kenshiro awakened to his purpose, embraced the departed soul of his friends, and fought with respect, never forgetting the love in his heart. There's a scene where he encourages people to not sell their humanity to his brother Raoh, for once our humanity has been stripped, we are left with nothing but rage and suffering. Scenes such as self-sacrifice will later be found in other parts of the series, where Kenshiro's heart would move even little kids to stand up against evil, knowing that death awaits them. In the manga, many children don't survive against the villains, even full-grown men don't stand a chance against these monsters in the Age of Power. Kenshiro is their salvation, bringing unrivaled manliness to all of his opponents, especially with the eldest brother of Hokuto, Raoh. While Jagi and Shin push Kenshiro's destiny into motion, it is Raoh and Yuria who makes Ken into a master of his art. With news of Yuria's survival, Kenshiro's soul remembers love and longs for it. Raoh, who also desires Yuria's love, battles Kenshiro. With his fiancée in the danger of such evil, Kenshiro would not repeat his same mistake with Jagi and Shin. Thus, he shall protect her with his love, sorrow, and manliness, bringing forth the unconscious transmigration, Musou Tensei. When the North Star successor can finally live as both a human and an angel of death, he can now call upon the souls of the departed, and embrace their hearts in this sacred technique, allowing for Kenshiro to gain the ultimate power needed to kill the greater evil, the King of Fists. In short, Kenshiro popularized manliness in the 1980s, and made it last till today with his appearances in Ken's Rage and J-Star's Victory verses. This is a character who perfected manliness, paving the way for many manly series to follow. Unlike the characters before his debut, Kenshiro moved the souls of men that is rarely matched to this day. It's surprising that for over 30 years, Fist of the North Star is still regarded as the icon of manliness, and who knows, maybe it will one day return. Until then, Kenshiro will forever remain as the manly anime hero representing the 80s at his very best. A man who turns sadness into rage, rewarded with a few years of love, is the manliest anime character, Kenshiro, the savior of the century's end.